Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. My name is Raphael, if this is the first time we meet, and today I want to do something that is a little bit different from what we usually do. I want to try to start sharing some micro pieces of wisdom to see if this brings you value. So please let me know in the comment section or send me a tweet or a message to tell me if this is a good idea, if I should continue or not. And today's the first episode, and we're going to be talking about taking time for personal development and taking time for philosophy. And I want to start with a quote by Seneca. Seneca was a stoic philosopher, and this quote is found in his teachings on the brevity of life. He says, I quote, "Aren't you ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnants of your life and to dedicate to wisdom only that time that can't be directed to business?" I want to read it again just so that it sinks in. Aren't you ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnants of your life and to dedicate to wisdom only that time that can't be directed to business? So what is the point of this? Well, he says, make time for philosophy. You should make time for philosophy. Don't just take the time that is left over from your other tasks in life that are not as important. Remember, philosophy, love of wisdom, is not only about learning how to live a good life, but is to operationalize on that wisdom so that you can indeed live a good life, not just for yourself, but also for the people around you. And what is indeed more important than that? Is a meeting at work more important than that? Than learning how to live a good life, how to be happy, how to live with eudaimonia via virtues and values? I don't think so. And so he says, aren't you ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnants of your life? You should reserve some primary time for personal development, for philosophy, for self-improvement and actualization. And most people read just before going to bed, just those last few minutes of time and energy that we have at the end of our days. And we must ask, is this really the best time for such important work? And I'm guilty of this too sometimes. I mean, I do read before bed. I do read first thing when I get up, also after my meditation. That's part of my routine. But can we dedicate some of that time that would be more logical during the day when our energy levels are higher so that we can properly work on our character, shaping our character, and on our virtues and on our life philosophy? So you would block 10 hours of your day to be at your office, but not block any time to think about the big picture, life itself, to ask yourself and ponder upon those big questions. Another example, and that might not be applicable to you, of course, but the average person in the United States will be fine in watching 28 hours of television per week, but then they say they have no time to study philosophy and improve their lives. So we must actively and mindfully prioritize living our lives versus being distracted from our lives. There's a big difference. I was talking about this with a client this morning. Why is it so important to have those morning routines? And we were talking about it. I was telling him, morning routines, first of all, it's because first thing in the morning is the place where you can have the most control on. During the day, a lot of things happen, but first thing in the morning, you can really control your time and your energy. But more than that, you get to control your inputs. If you don't turn off your phone, if you don't turn on your phone, immediately, you can control those inputs. And that means that you can be creative and proactive before you're going to be reactive. And you are going to be reactive during the day. You are going to react to everything around you because we are pounded with information, with inputs. Did you know that we have more inputs in half a day today than our great-grandfathers had during their whole life? Let that sink in a little bit, because you might say, well, yeah, of course, there's internet and all that stuff. Yeah, sure, and that's the reason, but are we prepared? Are our brains prepared? I don't think so. No, they're not, experts say. We're not genetically prepared. We're not physically prepared. Our brain cannot take so many inputs, and we can certainly not be creative while being exposed to so much that we're reactive to. And so when we study philosophy, which is the study of the good life, the study of the good soul, the study of eudaimonia, of our character, so that we can live to our full potential and close that gap between who we are today and who we are capable of being at our full potential. This should be done when we are creative, when we can be proactive. So first thing. And I want to end the session by reading the quote again, just so that it sinks in better on how it is important, how important it is to make time for your personal development and for your philosophy. So Seneca says, "Aren't you ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnants of your life, and to dedicate to wisdom only that time that can't be directed to business?" I hope you've enjoyed this episode. That's it for me today. Let me know if you're interested in more of those micro podcasts. Take care. See you soon.